Goutham's first round opponent was, in fact, Hans, which is epic. I mean, you can't script this stuff. And how about this? Goutham, after Hans opens with e4, plays the Scandinavian defense. This dude is a meme lord, man. He played b6 and b3 the entire first day. He pulls up and he plays the Scandinavian defense against Hans Niemann. And listen, Hans already lost to one Goutham. He can't go losing to Goutham as well. Like, it's just not going to work. He plays d4. By the way, black plays queen d6. This is not the Scandinavian that I go for. And Hans plays knight e5. This is all normal. I think he was trying to remember some stuff here. Knight e5 is actually not the best move. You have to start with g3. And Goutham, just very good opening preparation on display. Hans Niemann in the early game, -1, playing some very provocative pawn sacrifice variation, putting the pressure on his opponent to actually prove himself. Black plays bishop g4, Hans plays bishop takes, and now knight takes g4 is the continuation with long castle, and Goutham would have just had an advantage against Hans, and I would know a thing or two about that. No, hardly. I will not rub in one win. You know what I'm saying? Queen takes, knight takes. Hans plays bishop takes c7 and is like, look, I just have to fight this dude on equal grounds, and hope that, you know, my 2700 level experience is going to prevail. You know, white, as always, looking for stuff like this. Black should probably play bishop b4. Oh, look, he played bishop b4, trying to get rid of the knight. But see, Hans did a very nice job here stabilizing the position. He brought his king into the middle. I think moves like king d2 instead of king b1, like in this position, understanding that king d2 going toward the center as opposed to kind of a lazy king b1, this comes from freestyle. I actually feel like Hans understanding piece placement and dynamics, even if they're on kind of unconventional squares, certainly helps. And this one's going to ultimately come down to a little bit of an endgame time scramble. No advantage whatsoever through 30 moves for Hans. Rook a1, f4. But at some point, the 2390 rapid rating will kick in, even if he's obviously Grandmaster level. At some point, a mistake will be made. That is what the statistics say. At some point, I mean, we're 50 moves deep into this game, but here it's coming. Black needs to play rook c6 in this position, but he puts his knight there. And this simple little maneuver costs him the entire game, because now white is winning. White is going to push that pawn. These pawns are simply not doing it. It's this pawn that's going to give Hans the victory. A lot of pressure, some 50, 60 moves. The king gets in, the rook gets in, the bishop gets in, and the pawn is going to get in as well. You're going to take the knight, you're going to promote. And that is the conclusion